Hi friend, welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly and I'm so glad that you're here today. We have some stuff to do outside. We've got to spray the fruit trees. I grow an organic garden and an organic mini orchard. And so we're going to be spraying them with dormant oil, horticultural oil that's organic, and also liquid cop, which is organic too. And that just helps with preventing fungus and any bugs and stuff like that that might, like leaf curl and stuff like that happens to all the different fruit trees that can happen. And the first spray happens now. I'm actually like a week late. And then the first spray happens sometime after Thanksgiving. And then the second spray is mid-January on a nice day, whatever nice day happens in mid-January for where I live in Ohio. And then in March or April before the plant breaks dormancy. So we're going to get the first of at least 2, if not 3 sprays done today. Plus I picked up an Azure standard order, so I'm going to walk you through what we got. I also need to cut down the asparagus ferns because they're all dead. And if you didn't have like strawberries or mulch, you would want to like leave those up there and the snow would knock them down and it would naturally mulch the crowns. But I have mulch and strawberries planted underneath of them. So I'm going to cut off those ugly dead tops so that it's a little bit more pleasant for me to look at through the winter. And then I'm also going to install a thermometer, like a digital thermometer in the coop and in the run, now that we have put up the windbreak in both those places so that I can see from inside what the temperature is and what's going on for my birds. So let's get started and let me show you what I picked up from Azure Standard. So the first thing that we got is I got 2 cases of organic Honeycrisp apples. And so I need to get these processed. These are going to be good in my fridge for a while for fresh eating. But I have some ideas on how to preserve these in a way that I'm pretty excited about. So we're going to be preserving these together. And then the rest of my order is over here. This one wasn't as large as some of the other ones. I didn't need any bulk flour or anything like that. I did get a few dried things. So first we have rolled oats. I do a lot of baked oatmeal or baked oatmeal muffins. And so I love having organic rolled oats, cheaper at Azure Standard than I can get them locally. This was something that I've never gotten before, but I heard a lot of people talking about it and I was like, yes, I'm gonna try that. So this is the apple pie spice. I could have made my own. We go through a lot of cinnamon in this house, so I thought, well, this will be nice to have one that's like just for apple pie filling. So there's that. I use this apple pie filling in like baked oatmeals and muffins and cakes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to have that. This next thing is milk chocolate chips, a 5-pound bag. It is crazy expensive to get these, if you can even find them at my local grocery store. And so this is the better, they were sold out for a long time. So I'm glad I finally got one on this month's order. I'm excited to have that. The next thing is oyster shell for my chickens. I like the oyster shell that you get from like this like tractor supply store or farm supply store is like, looks like little rocks. And this like is actual oyster shell. My chickens love this now that I started to switch to this. So I like getting this from Azure Standard. Now, I would say not everything you can get at Azure Standard is a better deal. You really need to be kind of a savvy shopper because some stuff you can get priced better locally or at big box stores or something like that. But these things that I added to my order, either can't get them locally or it's better price at Azure. So the next thing is molasses, organic molasses. I can't even get organic molasses at my store, but I make my own brown sugar, so I always like to keep molasses on hand because molasses and white sugar mixed together equal brown sugar. So I used my last of it up making my last batch, and so I wanted to restock. This is organic popcorn. Olivia and I have movie nights and we make our own popcorn, and I just wanted to restock the shelf. When you have a bulk pantry, to get all of it at once restocked is crazy expensive and a big investment. But once you get to the point where you're just kind of restocking the things, then it becomes much more affordable to buy in bulk and you can take advantage of the price breaks. So I also got another refill on cinnamon because we go through a lot of cinnamon in our house, and I refilled the little jar that I have. So that is the little stuff. And then the last thing in the order was a 25-pound bag of sugar. And this is going to go into my deep freezer for a couple days, maybe longer, till I am ready to put it in my 5-gallon food grade bucket. Anytime you get bulk flour or sugar, hello Cuddles. Anytime you get bulk flour or sugar or anything like that, it's good to put it in the freezer so that it kills all little things and creatures that might have hitched a ride on there. So we're gonna go put that in the freezer and then get started on our outside projects. Just installed this one inside the coop. Now to do the other one inside the run. Got our little sensor, a little nail or screw hole thing on the back. And there we go. So sensor number 2 will read the temperature inside the room. So here's a look at what's happening. So when it says channel 1 and channel 2, channel 1 is the coop, channel 2 is the run. So right now the run is 50, sorry, the coop is 55.8 and 49% humidity, and the run is 58.8 and 43% humidity, and the bottom one is what it's like inside my house. I love being able to monitor that. Okay, so we have got our horticultural oil, our liquid copper, and our spray container, and we are going to get this mixed up. Okay, so for this one, it says 2.5 to 5 tablespoons per gallon of water. We're gonna be doing a 1-gallon sprayer, so I'm gonna go with 2.5, and then we'll figure out how much liquid copper we need to add as well. All right, this one is 4 to 6 tablespoons per gallon, so we're gonna do 2.5 of the horticultural oil and 4 of the liquid copper. All right, we've got everything mixed up, ready to go, and we're gonna go spray some plants. Here we go. Okay, so I added a few more layers. You wanna do the spray when it's between like 40 and 70 degrees, and it's actually 50 some degrees today, but it's windy. You don't wanna do a windy day, but I don't have any days left where it's above this temperature, so today's the day. I've got protective stuff on, all the layers. We're gonna spray all these fruit trees. Here we go. So when you're spraying your fruit trees, which by the way, I sprayed my blueberries and my grapes as well, you want to make sure that you get the whole plant completely covered including the base of the tree, all of it, every single leaf, every single bud. Make sure you get them all covered. Okay, had to take off my hat and glasses. Glad I was wearing those though. Got some overspray. Definitely would have been all over my face and my hair. So I'm glad I was wearing them. So I'm ready to go back outside and do the asparagus ferns now that we've got those trees pretty well saturated. It's pretty windy, so I'm gonna put it on time lapse, I think, to save you guys from listening to the wind. Let's get these things trimmed up. Okay, so this is the strawberry asparagus bed, and all the ferns are dead. So you don't have to cut these down till spring, but since I have the strawberries and mulch, the crowns will stay warm enough, and so we're gonna chop them down because I don't like looking at them anymore. So one of my favorite things that I have planted in my yard are my perennial plants. Not just my perennial flowers and bushes and stuff like that. Perennial meaning they come back every year, and annual meaning that you have to plant them new every year. But my perennial food sources, if that makes sense, right? So the berry garden that we installed together, the grapevines that we planted together, the fruit trees that I planted, the asparagus and strawberries. These are things that you plant once, and if you take care of them, they feed you for a very long time. And so asparagus is definitely a long game plant. You plant it, you don't even get to eat any of it for the first 2 or 3 years. And then it comes in every spring. It's the first thing to pop up out of the ground. You get 4 to 6 weeks of delicious fresh eating. You eat asparagus till you can't even think about eating asparagus anymore. And then it ferns out. You let the last few asparagus plants grow up and tall, and they fill out, and they sit like that all the rest of the season. I'm gonna go get sunglasses and a hat because these things are poking me in the face. Like I was saying, so at the end of the season, you let the last few plants grow really tall and bush out and fern out, and then they stay like that the rest of the year, soaking up the sun's energy, sending it back down to the crowns that they come back every year. But the amazing thing is that asparagus will grow for 20 to 40 years if you treat it well. So I love that we have these things growing in our garden. Okay, so I did leave in the bamboo stakes that I use to wrap a string around when the ferns are still alive, so they don't blow over and kill the crown. We get a lot of high winds here, but everything else is out besides the strawberries, so that's exciting. One more thing checked off the list. Hi girls. Everybody likes being able to get out of the wind. I think that's my favorite part. Guys, that's gonna do it for our outside chores today. So I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today while we got all of our outdoor projects checked off the list. I appreciate all the likes and the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't yet already, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye friends.